Hi friends, this is Ikra. Welcome to my channel. In this video I will elaborate the evidence of mathematics in Quran, so let's start. 1. Prime numbers. Prime numbers are indivisible. The word Allah appears 2699 times in the Quran. 2699 is a prime, which means it is indivisible just like Allah is indivisible. Skeptics claim that this is just a coincidence. It turned out that prime numbers are one of the characteristics of the entire Quran. If we check Quran in chapter 1 and verse 1 to 7, the verse count is 7, which is prime number. The word count is 29, again a prime number. The letter count is 139, also a prime number. All characteristics of this chapter are primes. 2. Distance. 1400 years ago people knew the cubit, a measure suitable for short distances. Meters, kilometers, miles and light years were not invented yet, however we found their equivalent in the Quran. Quran in chapter 69 and verse 32 says, "Then in a chain which length is 70 cubits tie him up." It turned out that 70 cubits is equivalent to 32 meters, same number of the verse itself. 3. Pi. Pi equals 3.14. Angle 180 degrees equals pi radians. Angle 360 degrees equals 2 pi radians. It is strictly a property of circles and spheres. Quran in chapter 96 and verse 8 says, "But to your Lord is the return." Here al-Ruja means return to the same location. In this verse disbelievers can go in any direction, but eventually they will come back to the same location. But this can only be true if Earth is spherical. You can only return to the same location if Earth is spherical. And if Earth is spherical, then a full circle would make 2 pi rad. 4. Base minus 19. We use base 10 in everyday mathematics, however computers use base 2. It turned out that the Quran is encoded with base 19. Quran in chapter 26 and verse 1 to 4 says, "Ta, Sin, Mim, these are verses of the clarifying book." Maybe you are frustrated that they don't believe. If we wish, we can send down from heaven a sign their necks remain for it subdued. Ta, Sin, Mim, these are verses of the clarifying book. This verse is referring to the 3 letters Ta, Sin, Mim. We know that the Quran has 6236 verses, however this is in base 10. In base 19 the Quran has 54 verses. When we replace those letters, Ta, Sin, Mim, by their count we get the number of verses in the Quran in base 19 54. Ta, Sin, Mim turned out to be 54 in base 19. This is 6236 in base 10, the exact number of verses in the Quran. 5. Relational algebra. It turned out that there is more to 19 than simple multiplication. There exists relations between the verses which are also multiples of 19. Example, each verse in the Quran has 4 identifiers: chapter number, verse number, word count, letter count. If we replace the first verse in the Quran by its 4 identifiers, we get a unique number, 11,419. This number is a multiple of 19. If we replace the entire Quran by the same method, we get one very huge number, but it also turned out to be a multiple of 19. 6. Encoding. Sets and relations are taught in modern algebra. One of them, character encoding, is used in computers today. We can represent one set of characters instead of another. This was known recently, however this was portrayed in the Quran 1400 years before it was discovered. Some verses in the Quran contain letters that have no meaning in Arabic, however they seem to be encoded. In chapter 27 it starts with T and S. T occurs 27 times in this chapter, same number of the chapter 27. S occurs 93 times in this chapter, same number of verses 93. Quran says it in chapter 27 and verse 93 and say, "Praise belongs to Allah. He will show you His signs, and you will recognize them. Your Lord is not heedless of what you do." 7. Abjad numbers. Abjad numerals is an ancient numeral system that was used before the Arabic numbers. Each letter represented a value. We found this ancient numeral system encoded in the Quran. Quran says in chapter 111 and verse 1 to 5, condemned are the hands of Abi Lahab, and he is condemned. His wealth did not avail him, nor did what he acquired. He will burn in a flaming fire. And his wife, the firewood carrier, around her neck is a rope of thorns. The first word, tabat, has a geometrical value of 802. The geometrical value of all odd words is 3049. On the other hand, the geometrical value of all odd letters is also 3049. The geometrical value of the odd words is equal to the geometrical value of the odd letters. This also turned out to be true for even words and even letters. The geometrical value of all even words is 2382. On the other hand, the geometrical value of all even letters is also 2382. The geometrical value of the even words is equal to the geometrical value of the even letters. 8. Pulsar navigation. A pulsar is a rotating magnetized star and we can use it for navigation. This was known recently, however this was portrayed in the Quran 1400 years before it was discovered. Scientists have confirmed that they could use the signals from pulsars and then use mathematics to determine the exact location. Pulsars are secure and free forever. Quran in chapter 16 and verse 16 says, "And landmarks. And by the stars they guide themselves." Stars keep moving in the night sky so they don't point to a certain direction. But today we know what it is. This is pulsar navigation. Thanks for watching my video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe my channel.